Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome to a best of 3 between. In the bottom left spawning as our blue Terran player playing for Liquid, it is Clem. The man, the myth, the legend, the greatest Protoss player at the moment, it is MaxPax. In a Protoss versus Terran best of 3 here from the DreamHack Summer. We do have MaxPax starting with a Reaper wall. And we have Clem starting with a Marine. For some reason, this always makes me so happy. I have these Protoss players building their beautiful little walls and making sure that, you know, everything is okay here. That everything, a Reaper can jump in. And then the Terran just opens up with Marine first. I don't think that is okay. Interesting. MaxPax decided to poke up there. Saw no instant reactor behind this. That means that MaxPax probably should be able to deduce that there is a factory before reactor. And I wonder if his plan changes. I wonder if his follow-up is going to change. Do you want something different against factory before reactor than reactor before factory? I think the answer is going to be no, as MaxPax is opening up with a quick gateway, quick warp gate over here. Double chrono on the warp gate as well. It's going pretty ham on those adepts. It's going to be a Twilight, yeah. Wait, what? No, it's not a Twilight, it's a Stargate. Okay, I thought this was going to be a Twilight for sure. Well, he tricked me with that fake warp gate, that's for sure. Now I have an SCV... No, this is not an SCV scout. This is a Stargate proxy. Oh, this is a really cool build. I think there's going to be another Hellion here. Yeah. Wow. Alright. This is a build that we actually hardly ever see. It is extremely uncommon to play this build order. So, majority of the time when people want to go for a Hellion rush, what they do is they swap the factory onto the reactor over here. However, Clem wants to hide it. He says, hey, I don't need 4 Hellions. I'm okay with 3 Hellions. So he's going to be popping out 3 Hellions from this factory. And every single time that MaxPax scouts, all he sees is just that barracks on the reactor. So probably mentally, MaxPax isn't even thinking right now about the possibility of there being Hellions at all. He hasn't seen any Hellions. Clem needs to be very careful, needs to make sure that this adept does not accidentally scout the Hellions moving out with the shade. It is extremely important. And I think, yep, the Hellions, made it past. I don't know if MaxPax actually saw this. I think he did. He's moving in towards the main base. Phoenix starts immediately as well. But I think the Pax is going to be in quite some trouble. Here come the 3 Hellions in towards the main. 3 Hellions are enough to one-shot probes as well. So let's see what this is going to be. Oh, well, this is not going to be brilliant. 4 workers going down already. Make that 5. And make that 6, 7. Yep, there we go. 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my god, this is pure chaos here right now. Good pickup micro as well coming out of Clem simultaneously. What happened with that Oracle? Did it just go back home? Yes, it did just go back home. But 14 workers have been taken out right now. I think this was supposed to be a Blink build, but MaxPax has decided to go into Charge instead behind this. He now wants to play Charge Phoenix. Did get a 3rd base before he lost all the workers. That is pretty important. If you don't have that yet, it's going to really, really suck. Because you can't rebuild workers 3 at a time, only 2 at a time. But now... Wait, what? He's building a 2nd Twilight. This is a mistake. Like, this is not on purpose. The only thing he should be getting right now is maybe a Forge. Like, no other infrastructure. I don't even think you want the Forge. You're going to be sticking with 2 gas, I think, for the rest of the game. You hope your opponent attacks into you. Because you just can't afford to get anything else. Yep. Forge here is being added in. This Twilight Council is really important. It doesn't finish. You don't have a lot of cash already, MaxPax. Alright. Does end up finishing. I don't even think he's going to be using it. And he honestly shouldn't either. I don't think you want Blink. I think you want more Phoenixes. You want more Zealots. Maybe a couple of upgrades. But that's going to be about it. 45 workers have been hit on the Terran side. And only 43 on the side of Protoss. This is just not very good. Where's that Star Particle? Here we go. Popping out two medevacs. Cyclone in position, trying to protect the tank. I wonder if there's anything that MaxPax can do right now to stay alive. I don't actually think so. He just doesn't have enough units. He just doesn't have enough units. That's just the reality of things, right? StarCraft is a game in which if you don't have enough units, you can just end up dying. I think that might happen here. Oh! Stasis could have been big. Clem, however, is careful. Has good eyes. Sees the shimmering light. The shimmering little whatever you call it here on the map. Decides to not walk into it. Good call. Very nice call indeed. This bad boy is still stuck as the Cyclone stays at home. Because defensively... Oh, there's the next one. This time it will catch 2 Marines. That's not the end of the world. Do we have enough Zealots here being MaxPax? I don't know. Oh, Clem scanned. Clem scans, sees the lack of gas and says to himself, is it really valuable for me to push into this? Or is it not? And I think he makes the correct call. Just going back, adding in a couple of these mines, more units, because Zealots scale very poorly into a longer game. The more units you have, the better it is for the non-Zealot player. So he wanted at least 2 mines over here, wanted a couple of extra Marines, and here we go. Let's take a look at that micro, that famous Clem control. See what he can do with it. Good force fields, but it's just not enough Zealots. I mean, pretty sure that at this point even I could win with the Terran army. Just a couple of extra stims and you're there, no? Mines burrowing forward as well. Ghost Academy is almost done, so there's still follow-up potential as well. Mine is going to connect with that Oracle as the mines in the air here are not actually being killed yet. 2 will fall, 1 will stay alive. But there's so many Marines, there's so many Marauders still up as well. Pylon might get sniped, and that is indeed going to be it for game number 1 here in this best of 3. Game number 2 will be played on Ancient Cistern. We're looking at the base of Clem. Now we're looking at the base of MaxPax. Back to Clem again. Clem sending out one of his first SCVs to go across the map, but it's fairly late, so it's going to be a fake proxy Rex over here at his own third base. Not a super uncommon thing to do, but hasn't been as popular in the past... Well, how long should I say? Past few months? The past half a year, maybe? I want to say, it used to be really popular, these fake proxy Rexes. I never quite understood why they were good, but here we have Clem doing one once more. At the same time, we have MaxPax just with a very standard open. It's not a regular proxy Rex, this is a double proxy Rex. There's only a single gas as well. Usually with a proxy Rex, you play double gas to quickly afford a factory behind it. That's not quite the case. This is going to be a 2 Rex Reaper build, I think. It's the only thing that really makes sense. Or world's slowest Marauder push. Yeah, it's going to be 2 Rex Reaper. This is not a great build in isolation. It really isn't. One could even say that this build is freaking terrible in isolation. If the other guy knows that this is Reapers, Protoss is fine, absolutely fine. And Terran is just behind in workers for no real reason. The reason why this build is good is because MaxPax has been losing to proxy 2 Rex Marauder on this map as of late. So I think Clem here is baiting out a massive response from his opponent. He wants double batteries. He wants... he just wants his opponent to respond in a strong way. And we have the first battery on the way. Zealot did finish up as well. Second gas has started. There's no warp gate on the way. We get a chrono boost on the Stalker here. But now the Reaper is going to reveal itself. I think that's actually an incorrect call. That really gives a lot away, doesn't it? Kind of surprising there. Kind of surprising. 3 Reapers are out on the map right now. MaxPax decides to move across. Surely that is a mistake, as this Zealot... Oh, well, actually gets a hit in. Is gonna get another hit in. Clem microing this kind of poorly, honestly. Loses a Reaper completely for free. Should not have happened. As that Zealot got way too many kills there. Or way too many hits. Now, Bunker is going to finish, and these 2 Reapers will still get an attack going here. It's going to be so little Marines. 3 Marines in that bunker. Is there a battery here? There's not. If this was 3 Reapers, you would just lose your workers way quicker because you can 2 volley, right? Now you need a 3 volley. So yeah, there's a significant difference here for sure. 3 workers will still end up falling. I don't quite think that is enough. There's not enough Marines here either to really fight against these 2 Stalkers. MaxPax realizes that, knew that these barracks were proxied, and that they're most likely flying back home right now. This is absolutely terrible here for Clem. MaxPax completely destroying the opposition at the start of this game. He's following this up with Blink as well. I see a robo facility here being thrown down, and most likely some extra gateways will be built here as well. Marauder is now out. One more SCV will fall before anything too bad happens. Oh, here comes the Reaper, Marine, one of everything. 1 Reaper, 1 Marine, 1 Heli, and 1 Marauder. Now, Stalker is going to end up falling. But at what cost? Significant delay of mining from the natural. A couple of workers did get taken out here. I don't really like this at all for Clem. Still needs to scout what is going on. Now, the nice thing about MaxPax is that he's often fairly transparent. So, I mean, you're gonna go in here, and even if you don't go in towards the main base, you're still gonna know that this is most likely going to be 4-gate blink, because it's either going to be Stargate or 4-gate blink. These are the 2 modes that he operates in, and this time it's the 4-gate blink, way. I have to wait and see how Clem is going to defend this. Okay, cancels the reactor. Says, hey, perhaps tanks are a little bit more important here for me. These bunkers are really far forward as well, which makes it difficult to defend. Second one does get added, 35 workers to 40. Like, worker count isn't so bad for Clem, actually. It surprises me. His tech isn't looking great. Does not have any tanks and does not have a threat on the other side of the map. These are the things that really worry me. Usually you can force the Protoss player to leave, well, 2 Stalkers or so at home. That's not going to be the case here. That is absolutely not going to be the case. Dark Shrine as a follow-up as well. That is kind of cute. I like that. MaxPax, of course, hitting significantly later than he usually would, because this has been a very weird game. He's hitting almost 40 seconds slower than he would majority of the time. This depot is now under some heavy fire. Might actually end up falling. That could supply block Clem here. Clem's like, you know what, that depot? That is an idiotic depot. I don't need it anymore. The tank in the main base is not quite in position to deal with these bad boys. And 5-6 SCVs are being targeted down here. These all were free. Don't forget that the follow-up with the DTs is going to be very painful here for Clem. He's going to need either turrets or mules. Or, scans available. Oh, this bunker's being attacked. I'm not sure why. I feel like there's not so much value in killing a bunker at this point. Does feel like this prism is fairly stuck here in the corner. Wants to piss off right now, yeah. He's gonna use a recall on it because he wants to get those DTs out in the prism. I think that is a logical call. I really do believe that is a very logical call. Viking as one of the first 2 starboard units as well. So we now have the spread coming out of MaxPax, making sure that he can find any medevac that will come out. I think there's going to be some pylon placement. Yeah, I love that I can see where he's looking. That's so cool. So yeah, there's going to be some pylon placement on the bottom side, just in case of any weird drops. This third base is fairly delayed, we have to say it. Robo Bay as well as Forge here coming in. And here come the DTs. Do you really want to go in with the DTs right now? There's going to be 1 scan at least available. He's going to be capable of catching both in 1 scan if he ain't careful. So Clem is going to give up this area temporarily. DT went in towards the natural apparently. There's still 2 DTs in the main base. 1 tank will fall. Here comes the move out of Clem. He's going to lose a lot of units to these Stalkers for practically free. That was, what, 2 Marines, 1 Marauder? Maybe 1 Marine, 1 Marauder. DT still going in. Now the Prism is going to end up dying to this Viking. But it's only 1 base saturation right now for Clem. And every second that goes by is an extremely good second here for MaxPax. This Colossus is going to be, well, absolutely vital. Pivotal. For MaxPax to stay alive. It has 12 more seconds, then it will pop out. There are a bunch of Marauders here, but there's so many Marines that this Colossus will definitely be valuable. There's double batteries as well, so yeah, I don't think there's going to be too much of an issue. This DT still alive, is going to get scanned right now. But that's a lot of money lost here for Clem, who's going to end up losing a couple of those units as well. Not perhaps in the greatest trade ever for MaxPax, but I think it's a good enough trade. Clem, 47 workers, does not have a third CC done, does not have a third CC started. On the other hand, MaxPax with 6 gates is now adding 2 more of those gates and probably is eyeing that fort base in the near future. Sends out a Zealot run by, knows what his opponent position is like. Okay, you need to all in me. You need all your units across the map. What does that mean? It means that my Zealot run by can have some real potential. Nice little pro spread over here, making sure that he sees any path of attack. As the Templar Archive gets thrown down, there's only 2 Marines at home, and 2 Marines with a bunch of SCVs is not going to be good enough to deal with those Zealots. Clem cannot afford to go back though. He's going to lose a lot of SCVs here. Would love to see a hold position. Yep, there we go. It's a little bit late, but rather late than never. Stalkers do find this army, and these 2 mines are probably never going to see the underground again, as the Colossi are targeting them. Yep, not gonna get any big hits here. 2 mines go down for free. Big drop heading in towards the main base, trying to go around. As we do see that MaxPax is going to get caught out of position by that, but I mean 16 workers have gone down on the side of Clem. Clem needs to deal similar damage, actually more than that, I believe. And all he's getting so far is the Templar Archives as well as a pylon or 2. That's obviously not going to be enough. Good army split out of the packs, who realized that his third base was going to be vulnerable during all of this. Clem will be capable of taking out 2 more pylons here on the right side once he spots those. And that, of course, is valuable. But MaxPax is so far ahead right now. Rebuilding the Templar Archives, almost has his +1 done. There's no +1 armor on the way for Clem. Has not found the time and money to get that. Clem still stuck on 3 barracks as well. Has not found the time or money to add in barracks 4 and 5. No Ghost Academy. I mean, he's going to be getting outproduced at such a high pace. It is insane to me. Fort base is on the way already here. It's 40 workers to 62. And even with triple muling, you're not looking at a very good outcome here in this game, Clem. I don't believe it. Observer has finally been taken out. That means that these Zealot run-bys are going to be harder to execute. Armory is on the way. This triple mine drop is going to get spotted here. That might trigger a response in the cannon. Yep, there we go. Stalker's also moving in position, trying to deal with this. I mean, Armory is not going to finish before, so that is at least quite nice here. Oh, did he just attack his own pylon? This is really the day of people attacking their own stuff, isn't it? Nice retargeting on those mines is going to delay a lot of mining time. But it's getting cleaned up here. In the end, as the medevac comes in again, picks up 2 of those mines. Very nice play out of Clem. He's trying his absolute best to get back into this game, you know, with mine drops and delaying. I just don't think it's going to be good enough. There's no Vikings here. Yes, there are a lot of Marauders, but Marauders are not necessarily great against Zealot Archon. They're great. Oh wait, there are Vikings. Nice, just too many units. Surely, just too many units. Mine does get a connection with a couple of those Zealots, as the refinery is taking quite a beating against the Colossus. Mine drop now going in towards this fort base, but MaxPax always pays attention to these things. He knew there was a possibility of that happening, and he was looking at the minimap. GG gets called. MaxPax wins game 2 as he ties up the series with a 1-1 score. That brings us to our final game here on Dragon Skills, in which MaxPax opens up with, well, first of all, not a Reaper wall. He's had enough of them Reaper walls. Didn't need it in game number 2, despite his opponent building 3 Reapers. Didn't need it in game number 1 because his opponent didn't build a Reaper. He's like, you know what, Reaper walls can suck it. I'm gonna build a blind battery in my main mineral line and move across the map with my Reaper, or with my Adept. My apologies, my Reaper. God, if Protoss had a Reaper, that would be great. I'd be proxying Reaper the entire day. Follow it up with some Adepts. Pew! Destruction. This looks like they did absolutely nothing, though, huh? I'm not entirely sure what to think of this blind battery business. It really does mess with your build order, don't forget about that. We'll have to wait and see exactly right now what the plan is going to be. Oh, that's an SCV that gets blasted, and I like that. I do really enjoy that. Not the greatest target fire here. The split shots weren't good. Usually you want to, you know, maximize the amount of damage you deal to a certain marine. But here he spread the damage nicely accordingly. It's not entirely brilliant. That's going ham. Poof, poof, poof. It's going to be once again the 3 Hellion drop. This time, however, it's being sent out from home. So similar build to game number 1, but still different. Because you're going to be capable of maybe just getting a Raven behind this. Well, usually you can't. I really like this build order. I can't stress enough how cool I think this build actually is. It really does make a crap ton of sense. Gonna start a pretty quick tank with this as well, which feels nice. And then a Raven. Yeah, there we go. This feels really good for Clem, honestly. I love the way this feels for Clem. I really do. So once again, we're gonna go into that 4-gate blink playstyle. A little bit of a worker cut there. Make that Stalker number 6 that just enters the fray. The 3 Hellions will drop in towards the main base, but there is a battery there still from the early game. Clem right now just scratching his head. Like, wait, what the heck? Why is there a battery there? And he gets 5 worker kills. That's still decent, especially given the fact that he didn't lose the medevac. If he somehow can drop these later on again and roll in towards the natural, that might be really good here for the Frenchie. First tank is out, second tank on the way. Raven moving across the map as well. That I do like. Raven feels like it doesn't really have a use at home defensively, except maybe sniping an observer. Although most good tosses just use their prism, because an observer is really expensive to get early. Here comes the blink in. We're at 13 stalkers right now. But there's also 2 tanks in position. There's no way MaxPax can blink into this, can he? No, he can. No, he can! Ooh, needs one more volley there. He's going to target these bad boys down. It's not the greatest SimCity out of Clem, I do have to admit that. No buildings blocking anything, but that was somewhat surprising still to me. At the same time, we have this auto turret taking out probe after probe after probe on the other side of the map. As a new tank did just show up. Stim is still very far away though. That is one of the downsides of going medevac into Raven, having that late barracks. Here comes the blink towards that bunker. This bunker is going to fall, and Clem is okay with that because why? He has the backup bunker. And that's why you get the backup bunker. Boom. Mew is aiding out in the repair as well. No, hello? Continue with the repairs. MaxPax trying to target it down is not quite going to get it. Was so close though. Worker count now favoring the Terran player. Once again pulls away from the bunker. I think that is an error. Okay. It was not impactful even if it was an error. We do have potential here for another siege tank as a 3rd base is on the way. This is 17 stalkers. That means this is super all in at this point. Clem gives up his position on the low ground. Had no SCVs repairing either. Somewhat surprising to me. It's now being broken here pretty actively by MaxPax. This really was somewhat surprising to me. Wow, big blink forward as well. On top of this, Marauders being targeted down one by one. Good control with the prism as blink is on cooldown. The secondary blink with that war prism, of course, being kind of useful as well. Here come more and more of those SCVs being taken out. Mules now being pulled while the SCVs go back to work. This is a reverse world. Usually not quite what you want. Another auto turret does get plumped down over here. As GG gets called, Clem does not believe in taking this game to a win anymore and will tap out. MaxPax wins the series with a 2-1 score with 2 successful 4-gate blink build orders. That's going to be it for me today. I do hope you enjoyed this series. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Bye bye.